Today is the last Jummah of the holy month of Shaban. Today is a blessed day. We are in the holy 3 months, and the first 2 months of the holy 3 months have passed by quickly. Now the sacred month of Ramadan is ahead of us. The holy month of Ramadan is a sacred month. The days pass by quickly. But people are in a state of heedlessness. People should prepare themselves for the holy month of Ramadan. As a believer, as a mu'min, we must always be in a state of readiness. A believer is someone who has dedicated his entire life to follow the way of Allah Almighty and to be in a state of constant readiness. There are certain months which are more beautiful, and these months are months to which we need to pay special attention to and which we need to appreciate accordingly. Those who do not appreciate these sacred seasons act as if they are killing these sacred days. And by doing so, they are wasting these sacred seasons, months and days with nothing. And it is said that even if you are in a state of loss, the sooner you recover from loss, the sooner you leave the way of loss, the better for you, the more profit you will make. So it's never too late, and we should use these sacred months, the sacred month of Ramadan especially, as a means for us to leave bad ways and to return to the way of Allah Almighty. And if we ask Allah Almighty for forgiveness in the sacred time, Allah Almighty will forgive us. And Allah Almighty will then transform our past sins into good deeds and rewards. When we ask Allah Almighty for forgiveness, He will replace our sins with rewards and good deeds. This is what is clearly stated in the verses of the Holy Quran by Allah Almighty. And the promise and the words of Allah Almighty are truthful and will be fulfilled. The Holy Quran are the sacred words of Allah Almighty. And the sayings of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, are in exact alignment with these words of Allah Almighty. Allah Almighty gives people all kinds of possibility and chances so that they may find themselves never in the state of being disadvantaged or being oppressed. And Allah Almighty says, do not follow the way of Shaitan, do not follow Shaitan. Never ever follow Shaitan, leave Shaitan.
aynı şekilde devam ediyor.
Yet people are stubborn and persist in following the way of shaitan.
Ondan sonra nasıl böyle olur mu olmaz mı?
And then they are surprised by the calamities or the situations they find themselves in as a result of having followed shaitan.
Allah Azze ve Celle insana irade vermiş.
Allah Almighty has given humankind willpower.
İstedikten sonra iradesini kullanıp
And if you desire to do so, you may use your willpower.
Nefsini bırakıp iradesini nefsine değil de Allah Azze ve Celle irade dedi.
And your willpower is the means for you to overcome your ego and to leave following your ego and instead follow the way of Allah Almighty.
Nefsini zapt etmek, nefsini kontrol etmektir.
Our willpower Allah Almighty has provided us with is the means for us to control our ego.
İradeleri onun herkeste vardır.
And everyone has willpower.
Ama kullanan azdır.
But there are only a few who use their willpower.
Kullanamayan çoktur.
And there are many who are unable to use their willpower.
Ondan sonra da nefsine uyup da helak olan da çok oluyor.
And instead of using their willpower and overcoming their ego, they succumb and give in to their ego, and following their ego, they follow the way of self-destruction and destroy themselves and ruin themselves.
Onun için bu mübarek günlerdir.
We need to be aware of these sacred days we find ourselves in and which are ahead of us.
Mübarek aylardır.
And we need to appreciate these holy months.
Gelen ayda Allah'a şükür rahmet ayı, güzellik ayı.
And the month that is now ahead of us, the holy month of Ramadan, is the month of mercy, of beauty.
Mağfiret ayı.
It is the month of being forgiven.
Ramazan şerif o ay.
It is the sacred month of Ramadan.
Kıymetli bir aydır. Onun kıymetini
It is an honorable month which deserves to be respected and honored.
bilen kazanır.
And those who honor the value of the holy month of Ramadan will be the ones who will win.
Bilmeyen bilmez atar.
And those who do not appreciate the value of the sacred month of Ramadan will lose.
Bu nasıl dünya temsili olarak
And as an example from this world,
dünyanın en pahalı elması var burada Osmanlı'nın elinde.
and there is the most precious jewel, most precious jewel which belongs to the Ottomans here.
Onu bulan adam çöplükten bulmuş.
And the person who found this jewel back in the days actually found that jewel in a dump.
Kıymetini bilmemiş.
But he did not realize the value of that jewel.
Bir kaşık tahta kaşık vermişler yani onu vermiş.
And he sold that most precious jewel in exchange of a wooden spoon.
İşte bizim de böyle kıymet bilmeyen insanlar.
And this describes the situation of those people who do not appreciate what is valuable.
Bu kıymetli şeylere ehemmiyet vermeyip
Those people who do not appreciate what is valuable, do not recognize the value of things, and do not respect those things accordingly.
ellerinden kaçırıyorlar.
And then they lose out of their hands what is valuable.
Ondan sonra ötekisi dünyada pişman olmuş ama ahirette pişman olmak daha.
The one who sold that jewel just for a wooden spoon, he regretted it, of course, and the regret in this world is nothing compared to the regret in the hereafter.
Fayda etmeyen bir pişmanlıktır.
Because if you regret in the hereafter things will already have been too late.
muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Allah bu günleri, ayları bize kıymetini bilenlerden eylesin.
Instead, may Allah Almighty make us to be those who appreciate as we live these holy sacred times and seasons.
Bize de mübarek eylesin inşallah.
And may this holy month be a blessing for us.
Allah'a tevfik. El-Fatiha.